So today we're going over chapter 4, section 4, part 3. Now part 3 is when you're trying to factor and the a does not equal 1. So you guys are used to having it. This is the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. Usually your a is 1, so you have an a squared plus, sorry, not a. You have an x squared plus, let's say, 3x minus 4, and you would be able to factor this by doing multiples of 4 that add up to 3. Now we're going to try it when we have a number in front of the x. So when your a is a number, so that means when it's not 1. So now this is going to work a little different. The first thing you want to do when you have a number that's not a 1 for the a, in this case our a is 2. So you're going to do again multiples of something that add up to the 11. But since we have an a, we're going to have to do the multiples of 12 times 2. So we're going to have to find the multiples of 24. So the factors of 24, and they add up to 11. So let's figure out the factors. We have 1 and 24. 2 and 12, 8 and 3, 4 and 6. Now I'm going to write those down like we usually have. So we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Now they all multiply to 12. Remember, we're going to add them because we want to make sure they go to positive 11. So here, this is the only one. So the 8 and the 3 is going to be the only ones that add up to positive 11 or negative 11, depending if you are with the negative or with the positive. So this is the first step. You found the factors that you want to use, which is 3 and 8. But how do you figure out the actual equation that we're used to? You're going to write 2x. Usually you write an x by itself, but now you're going to write 2x. You're going to write 2x there. You're going to write 2x there. And then next to it, you're going to do the same steps, 3 and 8. Now, we want it to add up to positive 11 and multiply it to positive 12. So we're going to do plus for both of these. Now, you're almost done. What do I mean by that? You want to simplify those parentheses as much as possible. This is why the greatest common factor was before this. For these first parentheses, there's nothing we can divide anything by, so it's just going to say as 2x plus 3. But this one, we can divide out of 2, so we're going to divide everything by 2, and we're going to be left with x plus 4. So this is your final answer. Now, first thing I want to check is my a positive? In this case, yes it is. So I can go ahead and keep going to my second step. Can I take out a greatest common factor? No, I cannot. So now we look for the third step. We're going to start by multiplying the 4 and the 3. So it's going to give us 12. And we need factors of 12, or in this case, negative 12, sorry, that add up to negative 4. So we're going to have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So let me write those down. So factors of negative 12. So it's going to be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Now, because we want it to be a negative number, we're going to take the difference because it's a negative 12, what we're trying to find. So it's going to either be positive or negative 11, positive or negative 4, positive or negative 1. So those are the options. Now, again, like last time, we're going to separate the 4x into both parentheses. And then the number that they combine to negative 4 is going to be the 2 and the 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and put them in there. We want them to be a negative 12 and a negative 4. So because I wanted to add to negative 4, I'm going to choose the 6 to be negative and the 2 to be positive in order to add them together and get a negative number. Now, last step is to look at the parentheses. Is there anything I can take out from both factors? Also note, sometimes you can take different numbers out from different factors. So I'm going to divide this one by 2. So I'm going to be left with 2x plus 1. In this case, we can take a 2 out for both, and I'm left with 2x minus 3. So this would be your final answer. 2x plus 1 and 2x minus 3. So since you cannot simplify this equation, you cannot take out a greatest common factor. So you're going to use 2 times 6. So your factors are going to be the factors of 12. You have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. We're looking for factors of 12 that add up to negative 7. So the factors are going to be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Now we're going to have to add them because we want we need them to have the same sign because we need them to multiply to positive 6. So we're going to get either positive or negative 13, positive negative 8, positive or negative 7. The ones that match the negative 7 is going to be the 3 and the 4. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2x, and then I'm just going to write 3 and 4. The placement doesn't matter, but now it will matter. We need them to add to negative 7. The only way they can add to negative 7 is both of these are negative. Now, when I multiply two negatives, they make a positive, so we do get that positive 12 that we were looking for. Last step is, let's look at the parentheses. There's nothing I can take out from the 2x minus 3, so I'm just going to rewrite it. And then for the 2x minus 4, we're going to take out the greatest factor, which happens to be 2. So we're going to end up with x minus 2. So your solution is 2x minus 3 and then x minus 2. So we're going to look at the factors of 5 times 10. It's going to be the factors of 50. So your factors are 1 and 50, 2 and 25, 5 and 10. So you're going to look at the factors of 50. It's going to be 1 and 50, 2 and 25, and 5 and 10. Alright, so we're looking for the factors that add up to positive 27. We're going to have to use the same sign since we want a positive 10. So we're going to get positive or negative 51, positive or negative 27, positive or negative 15. Now, I'm going to go ahead and separate them into 5x. And then, since the one that adds up to 27 is 2 and 25, I'll plug in the 2, and I'll plug in the 25. They both have to be positive because we want a positive 27. And we want a positive 10, positive 50 when we multiply. So far, so good. There's nothing I can take out from the first parenthesis, so I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite it. For the second, I can divide everything by 5. So I'm end up with x plus 5. And then that would be your solution. Now we're going to be looking for factors of 3 times negative 6. So the factors of negative 18. So factors are going to be 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. So let me write them down. Factors of negative 18. So we have 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Now because we want it to be a negative number when we multiply, we need to subtract because they have to be different signs. So we're going to get either positive or negative 17, positive or negative 7, positive or negative 3. Again, depending on which one's the sign. The one that matches is going to be that 7 because that's the number we're trying to add. So I'm going to separate 3x. Again, I'm just going to put the 2 and the 9 placed. Now let's figure out, we want it to add to negative 7 because we want it to be negative 7. We're going to get the bigger number to be negative. So when we add them, we get negative 7. And when we multiply negative 9 times positive 2, we get negative 18. Therefore, giving us the negative 18 we're looking for. Now, the first parenthesis of 3x plus 2 cannot divide out anything, so it's just going to be 3x plus 2. And then the second one, I will take out a 3. I can divide it out, which will give me the x minus 3. So your final solution is going to be 3x plus 2, and in parentheses, x minus 3.